Hello, my name is Kyra, and I did my week 12 presentation on Oneirology, which is the study of dreaming. Okay, here we go. What caught my attention about Oneirology is the word in itself. I never knew the technical term for the study of dreaming, so when I saw the word, I was immediately drawn to it. I have always been fascinated with sleep, dreaming, and the process our body and brain go through as we recharge. Many professionals call it an embodied simulation. Listening to part 1 and 2 of the podcast taught me about the Hall-Van de Castle coding system, which forever changed Oneirology. It measures who is dreaming about what and how often. But there are many other things I also learned. Something very interesting that I learned that completely changed the way I think about dreaming was that dreams don't affect our sleep, but sleep affect our dreams. There are many factors that play a part in the contents of our dream: comfortability, temperature, stress. A personal example I can give is about comfortability, excuse me, and how that has affected dreams of mine. Or as I was sleeping, I'm assuming I had rolled over into a new position that was cutting the blood circulation in my arm. When this happened, my embodied simulation's whole storyline altered, and somehow my arm was broken, and I was walking around with a brace on my arm. I was able to feel the numbness and pain of my arm so vividly in the dream because it was also in reality. When the numbness and mild pain got too uncomfortable, I woke from my sleep to find my arm completely numb and limp. At that point, I put together that my mind altered my dream because of my comfortability and was trying to tell me something was wrong. I believe this can tie back to Chapter 5, Sensation and Perception, and how the body still sends messages to our subconscious mind. I think another relevant example of this would be how someone is talking in their sleep. Their subconscious mind is still very active. A question that I still have about dreaming, even after both parts of the podcast, is why do we forget most of our dreams? While listening to both parts, I always thought the question was going to come up because it is something that I've often thought about, but it never did. I don't think the question was asked because people are mainly trying to figure out why they happen and not why we forget or remember them. Scientificamerican.com states that many people often forget their vivid dreams, but why is that? This happens because as we are in our REM sleep, the areas of the brain that transfer memories to long-term storage are somewhat deactivated. During our REM sleep, your short-term memory is active but only hangs on to memories for about 30 seconds. You must wake from REM sleep in order to remember a dream. Your REM cycle happens about every 90 minutes, and by that time you wake from your 8-hour sleep, you would have been in the REM stage for about 20 minutes. The amount of sleep you get that is less than 8 hours affects your REM cycle, which then affects your dreaming. The final hours of sleep are the most vital when it comes to remembering a dream. People tend to remember the last dream of the night, the one that's typically just before waking. The article was written by Stephanie Pappas, a science writer for LiveScience.com, and she focuses on neuroscience and psychology, but also writes about environmental science, focusing on topics like climate change and space. Oneirology was overall a very interesting topic to take a deep dive into. I learned not only why dreams happen, but also why they get stored into our memory, how sleep affects our dreams, and why we forget them.